sometimes we have to deal with a situation where we have a coefficient of x squared, a number in front of the x squared, and that's more difficult, and that's what people always struggle with. So I'm going to do a couple of examples where we've got a number in front of the x squared. In this case we've got a 2, so Mr. Listrick's patented method for solving this is step 1, we multiply a and c, the first number and the last number, and I recommend that you write them over here. So write for me 12, which is 2 times 6. Now we need to look for the factors of 12. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. They're the ways that we can make 12. And we need to look for the pair that adds up to 7. So 3 plus 4 makes 7, so this is our pair. Now at this point you need to actually do an extra step because of this coefficient of x squared. We need to draw in a little cross like this and put whatever the front term here is, 2x, put that there on the top of both parts. Right? Don't write the squared, just 2x. And below it write these two pairs. So we've got positive 3 and positive 4. Now, if you can take out a common factor of any of these two things, you have to do so. So in this case, we can't take a common factor out of 2x plus 3, but we can take a common factor of 2 out of 2x plus 4. And then what's left is our factor pair. So let's write that down. So 2x plus 3 is one of our factors, and 1x or x plus 2 is the other factor. Okay, now we should check that, so let's check it. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 2 is 6. And if we simplify that, we get 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Woohoo! Awesome, job done. Okay, I'm going to do one slightly harder one where we've got negatives now, and then it's your turn. So, let's say you had 2x squared, let's do it in black this time, 2x squared, let's call this question 2, 2x squared minus x minus 6. So step 1, multiply these numbers together. Now this time we've got 12 again, so 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. I'm going to ignore the negative for now, but we need to keep in mind that we're actually trying to make numbers that multiply to make negative 12, but my factor pairs, ignoring the negative, are still going to be the same, 2 and 6, 1 and 12, and 3 and 4. This time we want one with either a sum or a difference of negative, well this number here, even though it's not written, we've got negative 1 lots of x, so we want to make negative 1 somehow, and the only one pair that we can use for that is 3 and 4. 4 and 3 have a difference of 1, so we can somehow use them. If we pick the right negatives, that pair will work. So now we need to think about those negatives quite carefully. So we wanted them to make negative 12 when they multiplied, so one of them's got to be negative. If both of them are negative, we'll get a positive number, and if they're both positive, we'll also get a positive. But if one's negative and the other's positive, then we'll get a negative. Now we need to choose which one has to be negative, and because we want negative 1 when we add them together, this one, 4, is going to have to be negative, otherwise we'll get positive 1 if we had the 3 being the negative 1. So 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1, so our factor pair is 3 and negative 4. Let's do the cross over here. So this time I'm going to put 2x up here on the top both times again. On the bottom I'm going to put positive 3 and negative 4, and now let's see what we can cancel out this time. Again, we've got a 2x and a positive 3, and here we've got 2 and 4. Well, there's a common factor of 2 in these, so let's take out a 2, and our factor pair is 2x plus 3, x minus 2. And we should check that again. So let's do that. 2x squared is 2x times x plus 3x is 3 times x minus 2 times 2x is negative 4x, and take away 6 is 3. Take away 3 times negative 2. And if we simplify those out, then we get 3x minus 4x is negative x, and we got what we wanted.